What's up, guys? Welcome back to another movie review. And this time, it's our most favorite, well, technically his most favorite after 10 years, called Blade Runner. Dang, dang, dang.
Here it is. It is our collections, the director's cut and the Blu-ray. I'm not trying to brag, but I've been a big fan of Blade Runner since I don't know 2007. Back then, I wasn't aware of the final cut, and until they announced it on internet. So anyway, I'm a huge fan. Michael's kind of. I have to force him to watch the first movie. Well, I showed him the final cut one. I haven't shown him the rest of the sixth version yet. So let's hear from a point of view of a general audience. What do you think of Blade Runner 2049? By the way, we're not going to say much until we mention spoiler, because there are so many spoiler, and especially for those who never seen the first one. What are you doing here? Go watch the first one. It's awesome, man. I mean, freaking awesome. Anyway, what do you think of the first one? This one.
What I think of this one? Visualize. It's really good. Oh my gosh. I was so into the movie that I love every detail they did, like so much. I look, my eyes were like going everywhere on the screen, and I love the way they portrayed it. They managed to portray it back like the old days, like the first movie, And then yes, we watched it on IMAX 3D, and it works so good. Music wise also, intense 24/7.
Yes. Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wolfe did the soundtrack. Anything else you like about this movie?
Well, I can't spoil it because you're definitely going to spoil it all the way there. So I'm just going to, from my point of view, it's a good movie. And well, if you don't really like complicated stuff, maybe it's not for you, because there's a lot of big words being used here,
Jargon.
Yep. Especially if you watch the first movie. First movie has a lot more big words and more complicated. But if you like sci-fi and those detective kind of thing and bounty hunters, yes, this is a good movie.
So what rating will you give it? We're giving a rating now.
Okay, my rating goes
5 star. Give it some 5-star thing.
Yes, I'll definitely give it a 5 out of 5.
Yes. I'll give it a 5. Wait, no, not yet. So as a fan of Blade Runner, right? And then as a fan of sci-fi, more like as a fan of movies in general, right? I give it a 5-star. I love it too. The visual, of course. We can't say Blade Runner without talking about the visual, because that's what brought me to the first film in the first place. The visual. And then the music, and then the sound effects, the story,
yes,
especially the story, and then but for even the performance, we're gonna talk about it later. But keep in mind, this is not for everyone. It's extremely long, 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It kind of drags in some part, but keep in mind, not all movies are perfect. There are flaws in this movie, and as a fan of the previous movie, the first Blade Runner, I'm gonna give it a 5-star because I freaking love this movie, man. Denis Villeneuve, the director of Sicario. I love Sicario. I mean, I love most Denis Villeneuve films, except I haven't seen Indecisive yet. I mean, the one before Prisoner or Enemy. I love Enemy. I freaking love Enemy. And then 5 out of 5-star. Now is the spoiler time. Go watch the movie. I mean, if you're not a fan, then don't bother. I'm sorry, but it's not for everyone. Keep in mind, it's not for everyone. It's very, very slow.
Dude, if you do want to watch this movie, we suggest that you watch the YouTube one first.
Oh yeah, the short
hold
film.
on. Watch it first and then try to explain.
Oh yeah, okay. Keep in mind, actually, watch the first film, then watch 2029, the anime ones. After that, watch the Nexus Dawn, and then Nowhere to Run, because all those short films are essential to the plot. You can still watch the movie without them, but it will enhance the experience even more. So now we're going to talk about the spoilers. Okay, we're going to start talking about 2029 first. The anime ones. I love the anime ones. I think it's being done by those who made Cowboy Bebop. I'm not really a big fan of Cowboy Bebop, but I mean I like Cowboy Bebop. I'm not an avid fan, but I do like Animatrix because they've done Animatrix before. The animation in the 2022, the Blackout one, oh, it's phenomenal. And then it's in the storyline, right? It takes place several years after the Blade Runner 2019 ones because it takes place during the Blackout period in the storyline. And then several years later, go watch Nexus Dawn, which has Jared Leto as Neander Wallace, the main antagonist of the movie, where he introduced new models of replicants, like the Nexus.
He thinks he's God, I'm so
He's playing God.
Yeah, he's playing God. His attitude is like, one of those people where I can make people, I can do this, but I cannot make them breathe. As a person with power, I want them to breathe, Then only I'm considered as a so-called God or something from what I've seen.
The short film.
Yes.
And then the next short, we liked it. The Nowhere to not Run. Sorry, Nexus Dawn. And then the last short film is Nowhere to Run, which has Dave Bautista as Saper, one of the rogue replicant who hides things. He has a secret that will be revealed in this film in 2489. I like all of the short films, and those two short films, keep in mind, Nexus Dawn and Nowhere to Run is done by Luke Scott. Not Denis Villeneuve directed that. Luke Scott directed it. Did you know Luke Scott is the son of Ridley Scott, the director of the first film? His son did those two short films. I wonder why he didn't do the entire movie, but I know why. Because look at both of them look quite different. Because in those two short films, the cameras are they cut here to here. It doesn't it doesn't it doesn't do the padding things. Takes your time. No, it's run very very fast in those two short films. So we recommend watching all those three short films. Keep in mind. And now on to this movie. When I first heard most of the review on YouTube, right, or more likely the reviewer who've seen the movie during the press screening, they mentioned how there's a lot of secret. Really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it, because at first, right, Saper dies, the Dave Bautista guy.
Yeah, his scene was like, it really hype. Make you really hype for the movie, how he
care for him.
Yeah, And I like how they fight him, where he whacked the main character and he actually broke the wall. Strike.
Keep in mind, here's another tidbit. This is for Blade Runner fan, everyone around. Okay, if you've seen the documentary Dangerous Day on one of the making of Blade Runner, that particular scene, starting from the car that arrives on Saper's place, that looks like No Man's Sky. I did mention it. Okay, those whole scene were originally storyboarded in the previous Blade Runner, the first one.
Oh, they were repaired, huh?
More like I think they used the same storyline, the same scene from the original storyboard. Because if you watch the documentary, they showed the drawn out storyboard where Deckard arrives on one of the farm, and then the replicant enters the building with the cattle, because I recognize the cattle. I mean, he's going to show you the particular storyboard later. I mean, on Google Image, it's available. I get the reference. Wait, the boiling pot. It's supposed to be a kettle, but this is not kettle. It's a pot, right?
Yep.
With the soup and whatnot. He's producing proteins, and I get that reference.
Segu worm, I think.
Segu worm. And then, okay, before we start with the separate thing, the visual when it begins.
Yes.
All right, if you're watching on IMAX, right?
It looks magnificent.
Yes.
And it looks big. It really shows you how big.
With the eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the map or something.
The top-down view, right? The satellite view of the Cypress farm. Oh my god! And it's kind of like the first film with the eye. If you remember, in the first film with the eye, and then end up at Tyrell building. It's almost the same, except this one is, if I'm not mistaken, it's Kay's eye. Kay's played by Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling did a terrific job.
Yes.
Like I said, spoiler, as a replicant. He did a fantastic job as a replicant, and keep in mind, and then throughout the rest of the movie, because when he found one of the oh my god, the box, the chest under Cypress tree.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, and we're going to reveal that later. Don't worry. Ah, bloody hell! Ah, freaking hell! That's where the twist begins. It start right off the bat. Kay's a replicant, and then when Saper told him, how is it like, killing your own kind and whatnot. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, we got a short film tomorrow. It kind of feels like it, because keep in mind, I wrote this short film weeks before watching this movie. I don't know, kind of like similar and whatnot. We'll show you by Sunday, this coming Sunday. But anyway, and then throughout the rest of the movie, it feels like Blade Runner, and especially the exterior shot of the buildings, the Los Angeles, and then not only Los Angeles, they'll show some other places like San Diego and Las Vegas as well, and then they show the police station, and then the head police cop, played by Robert Wright, the lady cop. She's very, very stern at the beginning, and then with the rain.
The boss, is it? Yeah.
Boss lady, and then we get to see how Los Angeles looks like, and then we get
California.
California.
Everything is white. There's literally no green left there.
No trees.
Yeah, and then I realized when they were showing Sapper's scene, and he's like saying, "Oh, I'm a farmer," and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
From the looks of it, everything's there. What kind of farmer are you? And Kay, the main character, actually did ask. I'm like, okay, he's being asked. They said, "I'm a protein farmer." So I'm like, oh yeah, he did show that worm where he hole in the beginning,
Those are protein.
Yep, those are like 100% protein.
Mm-hmm. And then we get introduced to the kind of a main interest, Joy. What do you think of Joy? The hologram lady girl.
Oh, sexy.
Yeah, she's played by Ana de Armas, if I'm not mistaken. I think she sounded French, but oh god. She is very, very sexy. We fell in love with the character, the hologram character, and then
what pisses me off when she appeared during the rain scene, and they were going to kiss, and what they were trying to make out, and she got nuts.
Oh yeah, she got buffered. It's like how you watch a porn and then all of a sudden, poop. God dang it, my boss is calling me. I'm a little busy now. Darn, now my buffer stopped. Damn it, darn it. And then we introduce to more character, and then we get to introduce to the Love, the main baddie in the movie.
Oh boy, I hate her.
Played by Sylvia Hoek. What do you think of her?
Whenever Jared and keep telling her that you're an angel and whatnot, like, F that,
What angel?
What angel? You're more like the freaking devil.
She is the devil.
The way she literally brutalized, killing people and act innocent at the same time, and how she lies, and she even tell the cop lady saying that you people think that we cannot lie, but they actually can lie, So it's like, oh my gosh, freaking angel, right?
I mean, she does look like an angel. Kind of. But she's played by, if I'm not mistaken, she's played by a Dutch Scandinavian woman. I mean, she's played by Dutch. Did you know the previous movie? The main bad guy, Rutger Hauer's character, Roy Batty, in the previous film, he is a Dutch actor as well. Dutch or, I don't know, Scandinavian actor. Both of them are Dutch. They looks like Dutch are bad people. But I love Roy Batty. I love the bad guy from the previous one, because you sympathize with Roy Batty. This one, you don't sympathize with her. No, you hate her. She's a freaking devil. Okay, and then after that, we introduced to, of course, the new Tyrell, which is Neander Wallace, of course, played by Jared Leto. playing as Jared Leto,
Yeah.
playing as Crazy Bump, and then and then once we find out all the secret regarding this, case, it is revealed in the case. Oh bloody hell! This part breaks my heart. It is Rachel's bone.
Oh,
When
yeah,
they
yeah.
discovered the hair and then the skull. Oh goodness! And then oh my gosh, because this movie is very very long, so we're gonna condense down a bit, and we're gonna tell you all the best bit in the movie. And then once there's another scene, kind of reminds me of the first film where Kay goes out and then eating and then walk around Los Angeles, maybe 42nd Street, down the red light district. I like all those things. Those are the favorite moments from the previous film, when Deckard walk around Animoid Road, the Chinatown, where
Whiskey.
of course the whiskey. Except he doesn't order Xing Tao in this film. He orders.
It's a Shing Tao.
Oh, well, except Deckard doesn't drink Xing Tao, and then Kay doesn't drink too. I wish he orders Xing Tao, and then we get to introduce to the stripper, the call girl. I don't know what was her name. She doesn't. The one played.
I don't think she had introduced her.
No, she only said, "Oh, she's a call girl," and then she also plays a big part in the movie too, played by Mackenzie Davis. She plays a big role. She's part of a replicant. She's a replicant, of course. All pleasure models are replicant. And then she, there's a love scene where Joy. Okay, keep it. We didn't mention this. Joy is actually a hologram. In the trailer, we thought that she's a replicant, but apparently she's a hologram, which is interesting.
At first, I didn't think it was a hologram. At first, I thought it was like, oh, it must be the house itself,
Oh yeah, because there's a sound boo and whatnot.
Yeah, but
Jarvis,
literally,
right?
before all that, before they even showed that mechanism on the ceiling, I thought it literally was like the house talking here, like Jarvis with Iron Man. There's like no figure, and next thing you know, boop, her figure came out in those all Fallout clothes,
They are 50s, the 1950s
Yes.
clothes.
So it's like, oh, this is emphasized of people that love 2D instead of 3D. Do you get it?
It's like that 2D wins 3D. You want to feel someone. And then back to their love scene. Kay asked one of the call girl, played by Mackenzie Davis, the prostitute, and then the holographic Joy, played by Anna. They fuse together, and then she pretend like she's having sex with Kay, which I found to be quite.
She synchronized her body with a call girl, and she even like, shush, I'm trying to synchronize. Okay, girl.
So basically, he's having sex with the call girl, but with an image.
Fantasizing with her.
Exactly, but they fuse.
Yeah.
It kind of looks weird.
It has delay effect. Like, oh my gosh, all the hands, the fingers. Like, it becomes very creepy after a while when I watch it. So
Kind of endearing a bit, because at least here's what's interesting. You always watch human and robots having sex. Human replicant. In the previous movie, human and replicant have sex. This one, a replicant robot have sex with a hologram. I mean, theoretically, because he's replicant, because there's replicant. But what if a robot fall in love with a hologram? And then finally we get to see his past, and then the music comes in.
tense
Mm-hmm.
moments.
Apparently his memory is not his memory. He thought it's his, and then
that was a plot twist in the movie, because when he asked for the memory, and at first I actually thought him, when Joy was like, see, I told you special. I'm like, oh, he must be the son. Then he went to the lady with the memory thing, said it belongs to someone. Hot damn.
oh damn, yeah. I thought he might be the son of Harrison Ford's character Deckard, but no. That's another twist. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna spoil it anyway. And then after all those shenanigans, we finally get to see Deckard in the ruins of Las Vegas, and that image, right? The whole red dust things kind of inspired from, if you've seen the 2009, there were in Australia, there happened to be a dust storm.
Oh,
Check out on Google image. They look identical to the 2009 Australian dust storm. They both look the same. I think maybe Denis Villeneuve, the director, asked the cinematographer Roger Deakins to do the exact same image as the one in 2009 in Australia. That's what I thought. Maybe I might be wrong, but we can show you the image right here. It's on Google. And then right, oh my gosh, the introduction of Deckard. I don't think they have the best chemistry, but at least they interact naturally. You know, they seamlessly. I used to have a job. I was good at it.
When they meet each other, they had a bro meeting in the sense that they start to beat up each other. Yeah.
And then we get to see Elvis.
He came back from dead.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a stand-in. Some guy looked like Elvis, you know. Except the Frank Sinatra one, the holographic Frank Sinatra.
From a YouTube.
Maybe, you know, all those stock footage of Frank Sinatra. Oh man! And then it is revealed that Rachel, you know, she was pregnant when they left, and then Rachel died, and it kind of breaks my heart once the Jared Leto and Love captured Deckard. Oh goodness gracious me! They told Deckard that we made a replica of Rachel. Oh, that particular scene.
Oh, that was shocking.
Exactly. In that scene, right? I thought, is that a CGI Sean Young? Oh yeah, Guff is in here too. I forgot to mention him. Played by Edward James Olmos. He said he does the origami of a sheep, which is actually maybe a lamb or sheep, I don't know, but it's a reference to the book Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep. By the way, I read it too. I get the reference. And then right, oh my god, that one scene when Deckard were crying, right? He like, you remember Rachel? That broke my heart, because if you were a fan of the first movie, right, and then there's a scene where Jared Leto's character Neanderthal Wallace play back the original audio in the cinema. Both of us were the noises when the cinema.
Yeah, we were the noises. So when that scene came out, we actually, I don't know about him, but at that time, literally, I felt like, shit, why, you know, that kind of feeling.
Yeah. And then I was like, wait, I remember that log when she mentioned, do you like oral? And then, is it artificial? Of course it is. Must be expensive. Very. I'm Rachel. That particular scene, it's like an old lyric that you hear a song that, I know this line, I know. So I say that very, very loud, and then Michael just, what are you doing?
I was in the moment, you know, that he's like, calm down.
I'm a fan, I'm sorry. What the hell? And then, like I said, we were the only two that were very, very noisy. Not for being an annoying audience, because, you know, being a fan, with a bloody fan. And then, right, and then when they reveal Rachel, it is played by Sean Young. What? I found out in the end credit, Sean Young. I thought she's not in this movie. That's her. Wow. I am impressed. And then when he mentioned her eyes were green, yeah, that's true, because it's a reference to one of the tracks from Vangelis, Memories of Green. If you remember, if you've heard of the music, Memories of Green, it's one of my favorite tracks in the previous film. Oh man, those were heartbreaking moments. And then they have a fight in one of the beautiful last act at the seawall. Oh man, those were intense. Remember, and then the music coming.
It was really intense when they start flying. This is before they start fighting. The moment they shot the 3 cars, the music started to pick up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the music was so good at that moment.
Bloody hell! Oh goodness gracious! And then the film ends where they found out where the whereabouts of Deckard's daughter, his children. I mean, one child, the daughter, who happens to be the girl who reveals the memory part. What was her name again? Anna. Silly name, by the way. Anna Stritis or something. Oh goodness gracious, that was a name. So, like the previous film, Kay dies. Because I don't know if he dies or not. I mean, he lies down, you know.
That scene really took its time to show us that he had. I felt like he had a slow and peaceful death, you know, because you can literally see he was like.
Which is also like in the previous movie, because in the previous movie when Rutger Hauer's character Roy Batty dies, that's the same music from the previous film, the tears in rain moment, all those moments.
But it wasn't raining though; it was snow.
Snowing, yeah, tears in the snow. Okay, but there weren't any tears. But anything else?
I got so triggered when Love, that so-called angel, killed Joy.
Oh bloody hell, yeah! Oh crap! You get to care for a hologram. You care for the holographic Joy. Oh my goodness! How did they do it?
She felt as as real as a human, and you think holographic technically computers doesn't have any feeling, but in their world, these are as real as human. The only thing that is not real is that you can't touch them. That's the only problem. So after a while, I got a feeling for her, that kind of thing. But the moment when she got killed, oh my gosh, it just dropped.
Yeah.
And then she didn't even manage to complete the sentence where she's like, I love you or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, when she smashed the one of those what do you call it?
I can't remember.
It's one of those device, the new device you upgrade your hologram so she can walk anywhere she wants when she dies.
As long as you're like turn it on or you have it, she can go anywhere where the thing is, So whenever the main character goes anywhere, she's technically following him, and even though she's not like appearing holographic, apparently she can hear everything around her. Because there are some part even when remember the hooker.
Yeah.
And then she started her thing started to turn on. And said, okay. I didn't know you like those kind of thing, So I
She develops memory, alright?
I assumed Joy was jealous at that moment, and the thing rang,
Yeah, she has feelings.
So like, Joy, you did something there, did you?
Joy has feelings. See, okay, so everyone has feelings in this movie. Everyone has memories too. This film deals with memory in a better way. I mean, even better than the previous film, because I love the tears in rain moment with Rutger Hauer, because how you love a moment, you love your memory, the nostalgia and whatnot, and then you're about to die, and that's why I love about the tears in rain moment from the previous film, because they deals with the entire concept of memories and then losing them in a very perfect way. Wow, it's blue. So anyway, we love it. So on the technical side, the cinematographer, this movie is photographed by Roger Deakins, the guy who did Sicario.
Sicario, yeah.
Skyfall.
I have not seen Skyfall.
Check out Skyfall, the James Bond film.
I heard Casino Royale's better.
But it's not by wasn't shot by Roger Deakins. But Roger Deakins done many great movie. The only kind of sci-fi movie that he did the last time was 1984. That's another story next time. So Roger Deakins deserves an Oscar because he hasn't won any, which is a crime. So if Oscar doesn't give an Oscar this time, an award, then I'm gonna stop watching Oscar. To be honest, I mean Roger Deakins, he has so many award nominations, but he never won any. He did Shawshank Redemption. Have you seen that? What? Oh man, you should see more Roger Deakins movie. The guy who photographed this, and then the production design, of course, Denis Gassner. Anyway, the production design is amazing. The set design and whatnot. And then this is okay. Now it's time going to get very nerdy in terms of music. It is done by Hans Zimmer and Ben Wolfish. I love Vangelis' work. Vangelis, the previous one. He's still alive today. Alright? He's still alive. Why not ask him to do music for this one? But I understand maybe they wanted to find someone new. So Denis Villeneuve hired Jonsyn, who did Sicario also, who did all of Denis Villeneuve's previous work. And then once they announced that they decided to replace the music composer to Hans Zimmer, it doesn't make any difference. This music kind of sound like anything that Jonsyn did before. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. There are no memorable themes or maybe dance type music from the previous film, with the saxophone and whatnot. The Blade Runner blues type.
Oh, yep.
No, this is all ambience. I've
a lot of ambience.
So many drone ambient.
It's like at the moment I enter the town, ambience.
Oh, ambience. Yeah, it's basically atmospheric, but it's a good listen. There are two great tracks in the album. It's called Mesa and the Blade Runner with the. I like that themes. I like that new theme. So far, it has flaws. The flaw is it's too long. The flaw. It is super long.
Okay, if
For general audience.
yes, for general audience, it's really long. You know, there are some scene where it felt very dragged, especially when Jared Leto was talking with
Hello.
Harris.
Oh, okay. Wait, no.
That-
Harrison Ford. No, that's not.
No,
I love that scene.
because I know, but some scene is like he just talk and talk and talk, like
Yeah.
you
Trying
know.
to be philosophical.
Yeah, that's the thing. He tried to be, you know.
Philosophical, pretentious. Yeah. But I like that scene. I like the reveal of Rachel. I think the scene that got dragged is when Kay talked to the memory girl. When she was mentioning birthday and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
The
she
birthday
was like,
party.
don't you mind? Do you mind me? Do you mind talking while I'm doing my work? Something like that.
That part is kind of drag. They could cut some part. Even the orphanage scene is a bit too long. Remember the orphanage?
I love that scene where they drop the missile.
Oh, okay, that scene is okay. But I'm talking about the
where they start touching him and whatnot, and then they bring him to see all the orphanage. Yeah, they could cut some part over there, you know.
And then we can't help mentioning the there's an appearance by the I am the captain now. I'm the captain now guy is here as well as a brief cameo.
Yeah.
Talking in his own language. Oh, that's fine. People are city speaking in this film.
Yeah, it's multi-language. Even when he was searching for birth certificate, it was in Japanese.
Yes, it's in Japanese. City speak. Like in the previous film.
Yeah, there were Chinese and so on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh. And then the moment that guy came out, the only thing came to my head was the meme, I'm the captain now.
You should have said, I'm the captain now. So far, we love. Denis Villeneuve did a fantastic job on Blade Runner 2049. Quite long, a bit drag, but still love it nonetheless. It's visually stunning. It's emotional ride because if you being a fan of the first film, it's super emotional. I've been a fan for 10 years now. 2007. That's the first time I bought the Blu-ray. I don't think you can see Blu-ray. No. Director's cut. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we do recommend Blade Runner. After the spoiler, I'm gonna buy it on the if it has a 5-disc collector edition, which I doubt because in our country it's being butchered by the Malaysian censorship.
Yeah, when we were in the cinema, we were expecting to see the whole thing.
R-rated material.
R-rated material, but apparently it was enlarged, it was cut.
Cropping. They cropped some scene to cover the boobs, the naked, the nudity and whatnot. R-rated my ass. So anyway, we love Blade Runner. And coming up, announcement.
Coming up, we're going to do a short video. We might do two. Might do two and release it on Sunday. One is very, very short, and one is like, I think 10 to 5 minutes.
Maybe. Yeah.
We're hoping around that. And the one that is 10 to 5 minutes will be inspired by the original book by the yellow book that you showed me earlier on.
Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep.
Yes. So it's going to be inspired by that book and some out of his work, I assume, because you told me you did the dialogue and everything based on his work. So do keep out for this coming Sunday, and we might be on a hiatus for a while until we are releasing I-82. That is also based on a bit on Blade Runner.
And there will be another comedy by us, a short film comedy where a guy farts.
Too much info being released, but yes.
Yeah, but still, anyway. So keep an eye out because we are going to really upload a Blade Runner-esque type short film in honor of 2049. We love Blade Runner so much, we're going to make one short film based not on the film but on the book, Do enjoy Dreams of Electric Sheep. So if you read the book, you know all the reference. You catch every reference in that movie. It's a short film. It's a conversation movie, interrogation movie. Keep in mind, no action, no whatnot. It's not slow. Don't worry. So anyway.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Do comment in the section about the movie. What else do you think that we can talk about, and so on. And do watch the first one if you've not watched it. And then after you watch the first one, watch the 3 short video on YouTube. And then from there, go ahead, watch the second one. It'll totally make sense in the second one. Don't watch the second one without watching the previous 4. You're going to be totally dark. No, I'm wondering what's going on. So, thanks for watching and roll the montage.